Okay, it is Monday, May 10th, 2021. I'm gonna do my recap. I'm up, started in a good way. Started in a good way this Monday. 1,400 bucks. So that's you know, it's an okay day. It's an okay day. Yeah, let's take a look at the trades. I started off with FCX. Little bit of a mistake here, but nothing too bad. I was looking for it was between R3 and R4, and although it was coming up, it was kind of like all-time highs, but like you could see maybe it's a little bit extended, and it did end up pulling back later on in the day. And so yeah, I was looking for maybe an opening range breakdown, and yeah, so I went short right over here at 932. Um, yeah, I went short at. Yeah, it's my guinea pig escaping the cage. So we'll let him do his thing. Let me see. Yeah, I'll be right back. So yeah, I was trying to look for an opening range breakdown in the second minute, so 9:32, third minute of the day, and it almost happened here. Like it got below the daily open, and maybe my target would have been R3, R2, whatever. But I saw a lot of strength on the tape, and I exited. Well, yeah, 26 seconds later at 45.05. So I lost like 100 bucks. So I didn't want to give it more room, and I was thinking about going long, and that should have been maybe that should have been the best idea. I should have gone long, and I had a couple of opportunities here. I had this breakout here, this retest, and it could have. I should have gone long here. I really should. That was my mistake because the trade would have been, a daily open hold, and it really tried to break down, and it didn't. It's a stock that's gapping up. It's at all-time highs, and although okay, it did end up gapping down, it would have been a good idea to go long at least for the breakout there. So yeah, that's my first trade. Second trade, kind of like along the same lines, CLF. I went short for a quick trade. I wasn't really too trustworthy. It was between R4 and R5. Good trade. All time highs too, right? A little bit here in this breakout level, and yeah, I was looking for a breakout, but the problem is it didn't really give me the pullback that I wanted to see, and then the breakout. So it just essentially gapped up, and then what I saw is this big rejection, and I went short a little bit too late. To be honest, I chased it a little bit at 21.86, went short 2,000 shares. So I really chased it. So it was around here. And my target was to begin with R4, and if I could get more, hopefully R3. But didn't want to give it that much room. I just wasn't confident in the trade. Again, it was between R4 and R5, and just exited at 21.78 for I don't know what's that 160 bucks. 160 bucks went at there 8 cents. So yeah, not much to be honest, and thank goodness because it did gap up. And the same thing with FCX. I should have gone long here. The setup here is an R4 to R5. It holds R4 and then it breaks out. I don't like it's a problem with me and going long. I'm not too confident in my long trains many times, but this was a perfect case for me to go long, honestly. And okay, did it pull back later on in the day? Yes, but was there some good momentum here and a good trade that could have taken, from the daily open to R4, sorry, to R5, and maybe a little bit more? Definitely, that is my bad that I didn't really take advantage of it, to be honest. So yeah, then my next trade I found it on my scanners, DVN. I did underperform in this trade a little bit. I mean, quite a little bit, honestly. I saw the huge surge, and I saw R5 really being rejected here, once, and then with this big rejection candle engulfing the previous candle. So I went short 2,000 shares, 943. So right over here, a little bit chasing it to be honest too for the break of 27, right at VWAP and stuff. I really like the trade. The only reason why I took it is because the 9 EMA was far away, as you can see. So it was around here. So it really gave me a little bit of room up until the 9 EMA. If it would have been bouncing on the 9 EMA, I wouldn't have gone short. So I went short and I didn't give it much room also. 26.89 covered. So right over here, yeah, I should have let it go all the way up down to R3 at least. That should have been the playbook trade. Yeah, a little bit disappointed. I did mismanage that. Wasn't my best setup. It's not my best setup going against the trend, but still, I should have. That is the playbook. So if I'm gonna take that setup, it has to be an R4 back to R3 trade. So I'm gonna add this to my playbook, and I'm gonna make sure that next time I do obey. I could have brought my stop to break even or whatever. I mean, the problem why I didn't have that much confidence in my trade is because my entry. My entry was not too good. It's at 27. If I would have found this trade around here, it would have been a much better. I would have felt much more comfortable. But still, no excuses because, well, it was above the 5-minute 90 EMA. I did see the chance to go short over here again, but yeah, I don't know. I should have taken it. It really looked good. It really looked good at that point. Next one was XOM. XOM I went long, 1,000 shares at 63.51 at 9.47. So I went short. So right over here, I went short. I don't know why I exited so soon. I went in the 50s, and it was a good idea up until here. I tried to take the trade one more time around here, but I got stopped out really quickly at 63.42. I didn't want to give him much room there either. I don't know. That was pretty bad on my behalf. What did I like about the trade is okay. It was an R4 to R5 breakout, so I really like that. It opened up at R3, right? It opened here. It was basically R4, right? And it got all the way up over here and it got rejected pretty close to R5. So I thought that maybe there could be an option that it does hit R5. So I wanted to go long around the 9 EMA here so we could see a move up there. So I went short, didn't work out. Then I went short again. I went long. I went long, didn't work out. Then I went long one more time, and I was chasing at this point over here. I was chasing. I'm like, dude, I don't want to chase this. There's a 949, so right over here, this pop. I'm like, I'm not gonna chase this. This is now I'm sorry. Now this is how my losses happen. So I got out really. I got out just for 2 cents loss, and then I had my best trade of the day. I saw BNTX, and this was another playbook setup. Didn't catch it where I was supposed to catch it, which is up here. My idea was an R, it's above R5, back to R5 or R4. So I had plenty of opportunities to go short here, but I just didn't really trust it that much. So I ended up going short off of this retest of VWAP in the 9 EMA. It also coincided with the 5-minute 9 EMA over here. As you can see, really, really good movement here, and I went short at 195. So I went short 300 shares. Didn't want to risk it too much. It's a big mover. Went short 300 shares at 195.03. So at 10.01. So that's essentially that's not 10.01. I went short at 9.52. That makes sense. So right over here, I went short 195, and I had the 2 points. The 2-point automatic profit target that I have, and I tried to change one of the orders and bring it down, but I didn't have time to do it. I got filled at 192, unfortunately. You see, I got filled at 192.56, but my target was this one, R4. That was my main target. And the second one, it did happen. I did got filled at 189.56. So right over here, I'm really happy. And, this trade brought me like $1,100 or something like that. So it was a playbook setup. It was a good setup. I really saw it here too. This was a shame that I didn't take it. Big gap down, retest of the daily open. It is above R5, so the chance that it really breaks out is there, but it's small, And after seeing this rejection, I should have gotten short, man. It would have been a tremendous trade. But whatever, I caught it around here. That's still good, small size. And I was able to have a nice trade. I went one more time long XOM at 63.55. I'm like, this time I am convinced that it is edging up, etc., etc. But it didn't work out either. When that 9.53. So I got a good entry. So right over here, 9.55. That was a really good entry. And got all the way to 9.77, and I got stopped out on 9.51 over here because that's 10.03. And it's a bit of a shame because it should have gotten short there. I should have gotten short, and I screwed up in FCX too, man, because the same reason, right? FCX R3 to R4. This is the first trade that I took here. It didn't work out, but then I was looking at it over here, and this was a new trade. I saw it over here with this big candle, big volume. I'm like, okay, there's a big possibility for a rejection. At this time, I was already in BNTX and XOM, so I didn't have any more buying power. So Um, yeah, I went short. It's a shame because this trade I really nailed it. What I wanted to see is an R4 rejection at this point because it was below the 5 minute 9 EMA here. It was rejecting the 9 minute EMA on the 5 minute and also on the 1 minute. So this is a really good trade. So I went short 1,000 shares, 45.25. But at this point, I didn't want to give it too much room. I just didn't want to risk any money, and that's a problem, you know. So went short 10.18. The entry should have been here, so that's why I didn't want to risk much. Got stopped out. Went short one more time, 45.17. I went short with 2,000 shares, and it's a shame because the trade, look, it really played out perfectly. But again, I didn't want to lose any money. That is my bad, you know. And yeah, I missed out on a good opportunity there because wow, look how far I went down. You know, if I would have held, you know, would have been 5,000 shares, $5,000. You know, if I would have held and followed my game plan kind of. So I would have, you know, probably profited around here. 45.17, yeah, would have been like a $4,000 gain. So something that I have to keep in mind, you know, maybe be a little bit more sharp with my entries. Maybe give it a little bit more leeway. I mean, I took the trade, and honestly, like the stop loss should have been above R4. That's when it should have been changing the momentum. You know, there was no reason really to exit. It was below then 5 minute 9 EMA. That is the, I guess, the major long term intraday indicator that I'm using to take my trades off or on. You know, it's yeah, that's what I'm using. So there was no real reason to exit. I should have been patient. I wasn't really risking much. You know, at 45.25, you know, I'm risking like 15 cents. You know, I was, you know, even if my target was a daily open, which was my initial target, I would have still profited. My risk to reward would have been good. So something that I have to look at, but you know, I'm $1,400 for the day. Cannot complain too much. That puts me up now again in the month after the debacle of Friday, and yeah, just focus on my risk management again. You know, going back to the drawing board, focus on my risk management, and that's it. You know, I had to take out some money today, pay fucking taxes and so on. So yeah, I mean, my buying power is gonna be affected a little bit, but nothing too crazy. You know, we're still in business here. So yeah, that's it. That's my recap for the day, and come back tomorrow and have a good one. So yeah, take care.